Welcome back everyone to analysing House of the Dragon. My name is Triple S, and in this video I'll be talking about the 7th episode of the first season, Driftmark. I'll be going through what I like and dislike about the episode, how it compares to the source material, and I'll also bring up anything I find interesting or noteworthy enough to mention. There might be spoilers for future episodes and other media related to the A Song of Ice and Fire series as well, so you've been warned. With all of that said, let's begin. Right off the bat, we're at the funeral for Laena Targaryen. They finally scraped her smouldering skeleton from the sand and stuck them in a sarcophagus to send into the sea. Sayonara, Laena. It's interesting to see that House Velaryon has funeral rites which are the inverse of House Targaryen's. House Targaryen, and also House Jedi, cremate their dead bodies. House Velaryon sends them to hang out with the Merlin King, Ariel, and Sebastian under the sea. Okay, yeah, Daemon is being quite OTT, making it clear to Rhaenyra everyone knows her sons don't have the salty, thick, true Velaryon blood in their veins whilst staring daggers at her, but that doesn't mean you can laugh at your dead wife's funeral, Daemon. Control yourself, man. Although I did see a theory I quite like, which is Daemon laughed on purpose to draw attention away from Rhaenyra and her kids onto himself being a little giggly bitch. Ugh, not a fan of what Rhaenyra is wearing, low-key triggering my trypophobia with all its holes. Uh-oh, Alicent, your daughter's seeing some strange things again. Hand turns loom, spool of green, spool of black, dragons of flesh weaving dragons of thread. A lot of people are speculating on what Helena is referring to here. Does hand refer to Otto? I mean, he has been constantly banging on about how war is looming in the Seven Kingdoms with Rhaenyra set to become queen. Green and black obviously refers to Alicent and Rhaenyra's sides that you could say have been spooled into existence by Otto, the Hand, drilling into his daughter's head that Rhaenyra will kill her and her children the moment she takes the throne, turning these two friends into enemies. Dragons of flesh could refer to either actual dragons or those with the blood of the dragon in them, you know, Targaryen blood. And weaving dragons of thread might refer to the different dragon banners of the greens and the blacks that will come in the future. I wonder though if maybe dragons of flesh refers to Vhagar, who in allowing Aemon to become her new rider resulted in Aemon and Rhaenyra getting cut and requiring these two bloods of the dragon to be stitched up with thread. I'm going to give you a heads up that I'm going to be showing complete family trees, so go to this timestamp if you don't want to see spoilery family trees. If dragons of flesh refers to those who are the blood of the dragon, then them weaving dragons of thread could refer to them having so many fucking kids who, if you look at them on a family tree, look like they are hanging on by a thread. Or because Helena is messing with a spider way too big to actually be messing with, in my opinion, you could say instead of it being a family tree, it's a goddamn spider's with so many goddamn threads because of the marrying procreation between houses and even, you know, family members of the same house. Also, look at the intro. Anyone else think it kind of looks like a spider's web if you squint hard enough? No? Just me? Okay. Got your own interpretations of Helena's prophetic foreshadowings? Put them in the comments below. Why is there a crunching sound here? She just cupped the shell after letting the spider inside, so how does she crush the spider when it's nestled in the safety of the shell? What? Makes sense for Baelor to take Jace's hand, since in Fire and Blood they were betrothed to each other, and Rhaena was betrothed to Luke when the sisters were 2-year-old, Jace was 4 and Luke was 3. Though, since the last episode had Rhaenyra proposing a marriage between Jace and Helena, and with no mention in the show of any betrothal between the twins and the bastards, my guess is they aren't betrothed to each other at all in the show. Yet.
I don't want it.
Kid should have been called John, not Luke.
I don't want it. Go to bed, Emma.
Oh, damn, he just called her by his ex's name. I wonder if this is the first sign of dementia in Viserys. Daemon was right, the gods have been especially cruel to him. Asshole gods. Viserys doesn't deserve this.
Why are all the gods such vicious cunts?
Also, it's nice to see Harold still going strong. By this point in Fire and Blood, Harold died 2 years before Rhaenyra and Laenor got married, and was replaced as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard by none other than Criston Krispy Kreme Cole. How did Aegon become such a drunk? Oh, it was Viserys' fault for giving him booze as a kid. God damn it, Viserys. It's funny Rhaenys believes Westerosi Maesters would have been able to actually save Laena, since in Fire and Blood it was Westerosi Maesters who couldn't save Laena since she went into labour whilst at Driftmark. Not even Rhaenyra's Maester Geradis, who Daemon flew to Dragonstone to fetch, could save Laena, and he was renowned for his skills as a healer. It seems Laena's death is just a fixed point in time across the entire multiverse. Ugh, day for night shots, kill me now. At least I can see what's going on, even though I know a lot of people compare it to the pitch blackness of the battle at Winterfell in Game of Thrones Season 8. I guess my monitor settings are either right or wrong depending on how you want to look at it. Ah, so Laenor and Rhaenyra did actually try to have a kid, but Laenor had a case of Rhaena Baratheon and couldn't perform his duty. As I said before, maybe they should have tried including a guy in their bedroom fun, like Marjorie suggests to Renly that they could get her brother involved. Rhaenyra and Laenor could have maybe asked Carl for a threesome. Oh, so Daemon didn't break off banging Rhaenyra in the brothel because he couldn't get it up or because he felt he'd gone far enough to ruin her reputation or whatever, but because he realised she was just a child. But now she ain't no child, and it's she who initiates this sex on the beach with him. There's gotta be some symbolism for these two hooking up in the skeleton of a shipwreck. The absolute cojones on this kid to want to claim the biggest dragon in the world, all because he either got an egg as a kid that didn't hatch, or never got an egg, and because the other boys mocked his lack of a dragon. Well, now he can fucking show them. Aemond gets so damn close to going like Laena did with waking up your grandma here, but manages to talk her down, telling her to serve and stay calm in High Valyrian. Then he climbs onto her back using the ropes, and I love this since it looks like the rigging of a ship, which makes perfect sense since, you know, Laena's a Velaryon, and they are of the sea. Then he gets this big-ass bitch to take to the skies and flies her around like Harry Potter on Buckbeak. Damn, such a kick-ass scene. Excuse me, Rhaena, but dragons aren't passed down from parent to child. You couldn't just inherit Vhagar, you'd have to do what Aemond did, try and claim her with no guarantee you'd be able to. Hell, you could even die in the attempt like Aemond almost did. She's acting like Aemond broke into her bedroom and stole the family heirloom she'd been given, but he didn't steal shit from her. Laena died and her dragon turned wild. It's like someone dying and their dog becoming a stray. It's either going to let a new person adopt it, or it's going to attack anyone who tries. It's all up to the dragon. I've seen people question why Jace, a kid, has a knife on him, and I'm thinking, if I lived in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire and had a kid, I'm definitely making sure they carry a knife on them 24/7. Might have been useful if Bran had a knife on him when he was attacked by the Oathbreakers and Wildlings in Season 1 of Game of Thrones, you know? And Helena's prophecy of Aemond having to close an eye to get a dragon comes true in very gory fashion. Wow. Anyone else experiencing some deja vu right now?
They all attacked me and she threw my sword in the river.
Liar!
Shut up!
Goddamn kids escalating shit all the goddamn time. For anyone wondering why Alicent can't believe what Rhaenyra is saying when she suggests having Aemond sharply questioned, it's because being sharply questioned is just a nice way of saying tortured. Rhaenyra straight up wants Aemond to be tortured. Oh man, this scene. Viserys demands an answer from Aemond. Aemond looks at his mother, Viserys looks at her, and then Aemond makes the decision to not blame his mother, but instead his brother. A calculated decision because Viserys could punish his wife in some fashion for the treasonous statements, but not his son, his own blood, and then Aegon casts blame on everyone else with eyes and moderate intelligence, since the true parentage of Luke and Jace is so very clearly obvious, and Viserys can't punish everyone, just threatening them with punishment if they keep running their mouths. Poor Viserys got himself manipulated by his wife and his own kids. I like in Fire and Blood when Viserys orders Rhaenyra and Alicent to kiss and make up, they do, though no one is fooled by it, but in the show, Alicent puts her foot down and demands she literally wants an eye for an eye. She wants justice. I completely understand Alicent's breakdown here. She's done everything she's been told to do and expected to do, and yet barely has any power or allies despite being the wife of the goddamn king. Even though her dad is now Hand of the King again, he hasn't been for the last 10 years, and the only reason he is now is because Larys took her saying she wanted her father back as her saying, "Yo, Clubfoot, go murder your dad and bro for me," which she is absolutely horrified by. One of her allies is a goddamn kinslaying nutcase, and her other apparent ally, Kristen Flint Cole, just refused to follow her orders because she was throwing him under the bus in front of his Lord Commander, and he said he was only her protector to save face, not her goddamn dog. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra and her kids have pretty much just done whatever the fuck they've wanted, and she's still Viserys' heir, and he still hasn't said anything or done anything about his grandsons being little shits, and obviously being bastards except plead ignorance and threaten to punish anyone who questions Luke and Jace's parentage. I wonder if Rhaenyra actually allowed herself to be cut by the sacred prophecy knife to, 1, get a reaction from the crowd, and 2, because of Aegon's prophecy saying, you know, from my blood, so she's just doubling down on making sure, as well as it connecting to her and her descendants by them being the blood of the dragon, that she also lets the sacred prophecy knife shed her blood. Yeah, it really ain't great for the blacks that the greens now have Vhagar, not just because she's an absolute unit, but because she's one of the dragons used to conquer Westeros. The blacks have legitimacy by living at Dragonstone, the original seat of House Targaryen, and now the greens have legitimacy by having one of the original dragons, you could say. The only thing that could be better would be if Balerion the Black Dread were still alive and you had him on your side. I like that the Velaryon bulls look like seashells, Or hell, they might actually be seashells. That's a nice touch. Whoa, we got so close to a Daemon and Carl kiss right there. Cue the Carlman fanfics. The king/queen should be feared as well as cultivate love and respect. Where have we heard this before?
People love you. They love to serve you because you're kind to them. They want to be near you.
Do you think honor keeps them in line? Do you think it's honor that's keeping the peace? It's fear. Fear and blood.
There's a lot of debate on whether Rhaenyra actually wanted Laenor dead despite her love for him, but Daemon came up with the idea of instead of actually killing him, just making it look like he died. Or was it always Rhaenyra's intention to have Laenor fake his death? I can see both sides, since you know Rhaenyra says she loves the guy and doesn't want to be a tyrant, so of course you won't have him actually killed, but then it is Daemon who's the one saying they should let Laenor be free, like he's trying to convince Rhaenyra to let Laenor live and leave Westeros instead of just straight up killing him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. In Fire and Blood, Laenor is said to have been killed in Spicetown, a town on Driftmark Island, by Carl because he was jealous of Laenor, setting him aside for a 16-year-old boy. That's according to Septon Eustace, but Mushroom tells us Carl was actually hired by Daemon to commit the murder in return for gold and passage by ship to live elsewhere, but after doing the deed, Carl then gets his throat slit on the ship and dumped into the sea. As we see, the show goes with the Mushroom version, but with the delightful change of Laenor actually just faking his death, using this poor dude Daemon kills as a burnt corpse double, and going off to live happily ever after with Carl across the narrow sea. Laenor, what about your dragon though? What about Sea Smoke? Come on man, don't do a Jon Snow and abandon your good boy. This raises questions as well, since Sea Smoke plays an important role in the Dance of the Dragons to come, but if Laenor is still alive, then how can anyone else ride Sea Smoke? A dragon and their rider's bond is for life. Unless the show diverts again from Fire and Blood and Laenor returns and they merge him with the character who becomes Sea Smoke's new rider. Yeah, if getting married in this fashion required me to cut my lip and hand, ain't no way I'm getting married like this ever. I don't want to have to deal with not being able to use one hand or having my lip hurt every time I want to drink. No, thank you. You want to see something interesting? Let me show you how House of the Dragon has ordered events compared to in Fire and Blood. In House of the Dragon, starting at episode 6, we have Laena dying, Lionel and Harwin dying, Aemond losing his eye, Laenor quote-unquote dying, and Rhaenyra and Daemon getting married. In Fire and Blood though, we start with Laena dying, but then next is Laenor dying for realsies, Aemond losing his eye, Lionel and Harwin dying, and Rhaenyra and Daemon getting married. Yet, despite how drastically the show has rearranged the order of events compared to the book, it all still flows logically and works well in telling the prologue to the main story, the prelude to the main conflict, the warm-up before the dance of the Dragons. So those were all my thoughts on the 7th episode of the first season of House of the Dragon, Driftmark. If you think I missed anything important or interesting, put it in a comment below along with your own thoughts on the episode. My most liked part of the episode goes to Laenor not actually dying and getting to ride off into the sunset, so to speak, with his boyfriend. Godspeed, boys. And my most disliked part of the episode goes to the day for night shots. I hate day for night shots. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any advice on what I could do better for the next video, please leave it in a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and follow me on Twitter at @SSS_YouTube. I'm also on Odyssey at @SSS:83, so follow me on there if that's where you prefer to watch videos. Thank you again for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.